I've been thinking about something lately, and it's simple, but it's not easy. Life is really about experiences, not just what happens to us, but what we live through, what we notice, and what we carry with us after. Because every experience we have quietly shapes how we see the world. And here's the part I've been sitting with. We don't all have the same experiences, which means we don't all see things the same way. Every one of us is walking around with a completely different set of experiences. Where we grew up, what we were taught, what we've been through, what hurt us, what helped us. And all of that builds a lens we see through. Not a bad lens, not a wrong lens, just our lens. And most of the time, we don't even realize we're looking through it. So when someone sees something differently than we do, it can feel confusing or frustrating or honestly sometimes just wrong. Because from our perspective, it is clear. It does make sense. It feels obvious. And that doesn't mean it's the only way to see it. It just means it's the way that makes sense based on the life we've lived. And this is the shift I'm working on. Not agreeing with everyone, not pretending every perspective is equal, but being willing to ask, what would someone have to experience for this to make sense to them? Not to excuse, not to automatically accept, just to understand. Because that question alone slows something down inside of me. And honestly, I need that. Sometimes curiosity sounds simple until the other person's perspective hits something emotional. And suddenly, we're not curious anymore. We're defensive, frustrated, certain we're right. Hard to admit, right? Me too. But when we assume our perspective is the full picture, we stop being curious. And when we stop being curious, we stop growing. Truth check. When I can pause long enough to consider someone else's perspective, a few things shift. I react less quickly, I listen a little longer, and sometimes I see something I didn't see before. Not always, but often enough that it matters. Because the more perspectives we're willing to consider, the more complete our understanding becomes. No two people see the world through the exact same lens. And that's a gift and a challenge because it means there isn't just one possible solution. There are many. And if we stop at frustration, we miss learning the other possibilities. But if we stay curious, we gain access to ideas we would have never come up with on our own. And this shows up everywhere, in conversations, in relationships, in the things we read online, in the way we interpret people's intentions. It's really easy to look at someone and think, how could they possibly believe that? But a better question might be, what have they experienced that led them there? And sometimes that one question changes everything. So through my window today, life isn't just about the experiences we have. It's about what those experiences build inside of us. I didn't have the language for this growing up, but my dad lived it. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we experienced different people, different places, different ways of seeing the world. And I didn't fully realize it at the time, but that shaped how I see people now. So I tried to do the same thing with my kids. Not perfectly and honestly, not always cheaply, but intentionally. Because I believe exposure leads to understanding, and understanding leads to more thoughtful, more compassionate humans. And I think we got a lot of that right. And maybe that's something all of us can keep expanding. If we're willing, we can step outside our own lens just long enough to consider someone else's, not to lose ourselves, but to understand more fully what it means to be human. Here's what I'm curious about. When was a time someone's perspective surprised you once you understood where they were coming from? This week, when you hear a perspective that doesn't make sense to you, pause and ask yourself, what might they have experienced for this to feel true for them? You don't have to agree. Just notice what shifts when you try to understand first. This channel isn't about censoring or forcing people to agree. It's about slowing down long enough to really listen, understand different perspectives, and approach discussions with thoughtful reflection. Together, I welcome different views, I really do, but respect matters here. If you disagree, explain why. If you see it differently, share your perspective. Here, our differences are strengths, and they're starting points for deeper understanding, not weapons. And if you'd like a little extra help shaping your reply, I've linked my 3 Ps in Action comment edition in the description. It's the same process I use myself to pause, pinpoint truth, and proceed with purposeful forethought. The more perspectives we're willing to consider, the more clearly we start to see, not because our lens disappears, but because we've taken the time to look beyond it. If you find these reflections valuable, hitting the thumbs up, sharing this with a friend, or subscribing helps bring more people into the conversation. And I'm really glad you're here. Remember, pause, pinpoint truth, proceed with purposeful forethought. Join the conversation. See you next time.